Are what the streets saying true? What did Donald Trump do to Bill Clinton? What?
At no point did I think that Trump's big, beautiful Bill would be Bill Clinton.
Not Donald Trump putting the head in head of state. What?
My turn. My turn.
You know, if this Bubba email is true, Bill Clinton has a great opportunity right now to come out on record and be like, you know, yep, it's true. I regret it. I wish it hadn't happened. It wasn't even that great. It was just okay. Because you know Trump's ego would not be able to handle that. He would immediately come out on record and be like, nope, that's not true. I give the best. Nobody does it better than me.
Guys, today's video dives deep into one of the most chaotic online reactions we've seen in a long time. Over the past few days, social media has exploded with commentary surrounding a rumored email allegedly tied to released Epstein documents that sparked a wildfire of speculation involving several former world leaders. Now, before we go any further, let's be clear about something. These claims are unverified, unproven, and deeply sensationalized. What is real, however, is the conversation erupting around them. People aren't just reacting to the rumor itself, they are reacting to what it represents. Distrust in powerful institutions, shock at the possibility of hidden relationships among political rivals, and the uncomfortable question of who truly holds influence behind the scenes. Today, we are not here to promote the rumor, but to unpack why this story hit so hard and why so many people are confused, and what this says about modern politics and online culture.
Do you guys remember when Donald Trump tweeted this when he said, if Hillary can't satisfy her own husband, what makes her think that she could satisfy America? And now we got emails about Epstein talking about how Trump blowing Bill, not to mention when he was making these noises. And then Blake. On top of the whole rant he went on about Arnold Palmer and his Johnson.
He took showers with the other pros. They came out of there, they said, oh my God.
Of all the things we've discovered and experienced on this horrific timeline, Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton the Gawk 3000 allegedly was not on my radar.
How you doing?
I know that all these emails have been released from the Jeffrey Epstein estate, which has revealed a lot of things. One email in particular said, ask him if Putin has photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Bubba referring to our former president, Bill Clinton.
Okay, well, this was really fun.
I mean, to be fair, Donald Trump's favorite dance is jerking off ghosts in public and playing the YMCA, which is America's gay theme song. So the two that are absolute dicks to each other in public can be tugging on each other's dick private.
Wow.
This just tells us America in this current timeline is the worst telenovela. It's not even a telenovela anymore. We've surpassed that. We are now in a Tubi film. What do you mean? What is going on at Jeffrey Epstein's house, Island Plain estate? What was going on? And honestly, I don't care who's in these files. Based on these little tidbits and breadcrumbs we're getting from these emails, I would literally like all the files to be released. I don't care if every Democrat's on it. I don't care if everyone I've ever looked up to is on it. I don't care if Obama's on it. Release the Epstein files, because we need to see what the fuck has been going on with these weirdos.
What? What do you mean? There is an email between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother where it says, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump. What? And before MAGA comes in here and says that cannot be true, I would like to remind you of something that Caroline Levitt said just the other day.
Again, it's not a coincidence to the American people at home. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And
It is no coincidence that Donald Trump wants to get rid of the filibuster. He's already filled with Bill busting in his mouth. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. So it is no coincidence that he wanted to lock her up so bad. He wanted Bubba all to himself. It is no coincidence that Donald Trump did this a year ago to the day.
I come in, and here's the problem. I said, oh man, it's too low. I said, it's too low. So, I had to go.
It is no coincidence that he wants to build a ballroom so bad. It is no coincidence that they tried distracting us by saying everything Donald Trump has ever said was locker room talk. Meanwhile, it was Russian bathhouse action the whole time. It is no coincidence that Donald Trump says he is the best at the bob and weave. What? Vladdy, release the pictures.
Now, what made this rumor spread so quickly wasn't the rumor alone. It was the context. When people heard that an email allegedly referenced to, two major political figures in a deeply unexpected and extremely personal scenario, and even mentioned a foreign leader, potentially possessing compromising material, the reaction wasn't simply, is this true or false? Instead, it became, what if something like this could happen behind closed doors? For many viewers commenting online, the shock wasn't about the people named. It was about the idea that political opponents who appear to be fiercely divided in.
So let me see if I got this straight. Jeffrey Epstein sent an email to his brother and asked his brother, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Bubba being Bill Clinton's nickname. It's hilarious that Bill Clinton was impeached for receiving a blow in the Oval Office and lying about it. And now the sitting president, there's an email indicating that he provided a similar service to the same man. 20,000 documents came out as part of the Epstein estate. This isn't even the Epstein files that we've been trying to get released. This is just from the estate stuff. And Donald Trump's name appears more than anyone else's. It appears in 1,628 documents out of the 20,000. Jeffrey Epstein talking about having Thanksgiving with Donald Trump, talking about Brett Kavanaugh with Steve Bannon and making sure that this dude was still very much involved with Trump and with the government as Trump had become president. And in just one of those many emails, Jeffrey Epstein, referring to Donald Trump, said, "You may recall, I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump."
In public might have totally different relationships away from the spotlight. That contrast between public hostility and possible private familiarity is what sent, YouTube reactors, TikTok creators, and podcasters into overdrive. Others are focusing on the larger picture. If such rumors can spread this fast, what does that say about public trust? Why are people so ready to believe extreme possibilities about their leaders? And what does it reveal about how fragile political narratives have become? Now, let's break down the deeper layers here, because this story, true or not, tells us something important about our cultural moment. First, the public has reached a point where almost anything involving power, powerful figures, feels believable. That alone should make all of us pause. When a rumor drops, especially one tied to a name like Epstein, People react not because they trust the claim, but because they've lost trust in the people that at the top. The online conversation isn't fueled by certainty, it's fueled by cynicism. And in this case, the rumor touches on several emotional pressure points. One, political hypocrisy. One of the most repeated reactions across social media platforms was, how is it possible that people who act like sworn enemies publicly be connected privately? Even without endorsing any allegation, the idea that public political battles might hide private alliances fascinates people. It makes voters question whether the conflicts we see on TV are genuine or just theater. When commentators joke about elections being family drama or reality show plot twists, it wasn't about the rumor. It was about the feeling that politics has become a performance. Second, the influence of foreign powers. Another major talking point in the viral conversation was the reference to a foreign leader allegedly possessing sensitive material. Again, we are not treating that as a fact, but the idea alone triggered worries about leverage, influence, and national vulnerability. People are asking, if such material existed, what would that mean for leadership? What does it say about the fragility of our democracy? Whether the rumor is true or not, these are legitimate questions about how political pressure could work in the real world. Number three, the hunger for transparency. The loudest demand throughout, comment section is the call for full, release of all Epstein-related documents. People are tired of partial drops, selective leaks, and redacted lines. They want clarity, not speculation. And here's the twist: even people who belong to completely different political groups are suddenly agreeing on this. Everyone wants the truth. That is rare in today's polarized environment. Number four, the entertainment factor. Unfortunately, it's impossible to ignore that we are living in a time where political scandal feels like pop culture drama. People react to political news the same way they react to celebrity gossip, memes, and even shocked faces, exaggerated storytelling. It's dramatic, chaotic, and entertaining in a way it shouldn't be. And the online commentary around this rumor, regardless of its accuracy, reflects that people aren't just informed by politics anymore. They are entertained by it. It has become content. But let's take a step back. When any rumor involving public figures start trending, especially one that crosses into personal or intimate territory, we have to maintain a level of responsibility. These aren't fictional characters, they are real people, and unverified claims can cause real harm. However, we can still examine the reaction, because the reaction is what this moment is truly about. It shows how society no longer believes in the surface of anything. It shows frustration with secrecy, corruption, and elitism. It shows how easily shocking narratives overshadow real issue. And it shows how desperately people want honesty from their leaders. So guys, as we wrap up today's video, here's the takeaway. This story isn't about whether a rumor circulating online is real. It's about why the public is so ready to believe that something outrageous, bizarre, or even unbelievable could involve the people who once led the country. It's about the environment of distrust, the hunger for truth, and the way modern politics has merged with online culture to create a whirlwind where conspiracy rumors, memes, and legitimate concerns blend together. Whatever the truth is, one thing's clear: people are tired of shadows and half stories. They want transparency, they want accountability, and they want leaders who don't leave room for speculation to grow into stories like this. Until then, the internet will keep doing what it does best: reacting, debating, dissecting, and sometimes exaggerating. And all we can do is approach these viral claims with critical thinking, compassion, and even commitment to separate fact from noise. Now, guys, drop a comment, let me know. What are your thoughts? Also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.